Hey, this is a video I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and in speaking to some friends and my daughter lately, I feel like it's something that just kind of needs to get out there. The holidays, a lot of people are saying Merry Christmas, or aren't you happy? Why aren't you happy? Holidays can be really hard for a lot of people. A lot of people are lonely. A lot of people have financial stresses. A lot of people I know, like myself, I have mental health. Um, I deal with depression and anxiety. Always have, always will. It's genetic. And I know now it's taken me a very long time to figure out some of the things I can do, but there are some people who don't even realize that they're struggling. And then when you have this winter season with less light, a lot of times that depression and or anxiety can get worse. And then when you have everybody like, she should be happy, and then you're feeling down here and everybody else is up here, or they're acting like they're up here. It could just be general hysteria because of all the crap you got to get done for Christmas or the holidays in general. So those kinds of things are very prevalent in our society. Overscheduling, that's a huge thing. Right now, everybody's going from here to there to here, and there's no downtime. And when you rest, sometimes people think you're being lazy, which is bullshit. Okay. Just telling you, if you need to rest, you do that. And if that means you got to lock yourself in your house and you're going to sit and you're going to binge watch your favorite shows and get comfortable on the couch, that is okay. If you're doing that long term, that is probably not okay. And that is where you would want to seek some help. I do feel like seeking help now is easier and not stigmatized like it has been for forever. And I do think that women are more open in general to seek help. And I also think that we typically have a lot of girlfriends, or at least mainly female friends, and I feel like they get a lot of our struggles. I don't think men talk the way women do. Just talking to several of my girlfriends lately, my own daughter, she's an adult, just talking about those things that bother us. Other women I know for myself are pretty receptive. Sometimes it's really difficult for men to find those people that they can seek. So if you feel like you need help, please reach out. Again, this is a really, really hard time of year. Family dynamics, getting together with your family that maybe you avoid the rest of the year for good reason. Here's the thing. It's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tolerate this behavior. I'm not going to tolerate the way you speak to me. And of course, people may think that you're causing drama, but when really you're putting up boundaries saying, I'm no longer okay with this. Those are things that during the holidays, I think we just need to be aware of. Financial strain, don't forget it, especially right now. Some people can't afford food and they're expected to go out and get gifts for others. And that's really, really stressful. And putting yourself into debt in order to buy into this society that says, buy more, buy more, buy more, that can be really overwhelming. And that can increase all of the stress and pressures that you're already feeling. And just one little caveat for my teacher friends, okay? There's a lot of kids that right now, they don't even know if they're going to get any gifts. So we may see more behaviors in the classroom than we typically do. And the seasoned veteran teachers already know this. But here's the thing too. Right now is when a lot of our kids are taking finals. You expect them to think straight when all this is going on with the holidays. It's not the teachers, trust me, it's not them, it's the way the semesters unload. And that can be another stress factor on kids, on our little kids who can't even process things. And little, I know, even our high schoolers, it can be really tough. It can be really tough. So, um, finally, one of the other things is loss and grief. I've lost several friends this year, friends right around my age, which is shocking, but it's true. One of them was very recent. And, you know, I know from personal experience, when you lose someone at the holidays, you never forget that, because there's things that trigger those memories of what brought you down in the first place. So 23 years ago, yesterday, my father came home on hospice. He had been diagnosed with colon cancer and things didn't work out, you know. And he wanted to die at home. So the doctor said, okay, you're taking him home. You're putting him on hospice, and have Christmas early. So we did. But before that, when hospice came to the house and they said, here's all your prescriptions, I went to Walgreens. And I'll never forget this, sitting in Walgreens, listening to the Christmas music and listening to people laughing and just so happy. And I'll never forget, I sat next to this rack of, they were like pine cones that smelled like cinnamon. I still can't stand those things, because I sat there and all I could think of was, my dad is dying. I'm getting all of these medications for him right now. And everyone else around me is feeling happy. And I had that memory the other day when I was in Kroger, and I smelled that smell walking down an aisle, and I was like, whoa, brought me right back 23 years ago. And there's so many people who are, even if you didn't lose somebody at Christmas time, if you're without them, this is your first Christmas without them, or your first holiday without them, it can be a huge blow. It can be a huge blow. And some people act like it's fine and that they're fine. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. So check on those folks that you know could be struggling. For myself, yesterday, because I knew yesterday was going to be a rough day, I was just lucky enough to be able to have one of my best friends over for dinner, and we had a lovely time, and we don't get to spend a lot of time together. And she was exactly the medicine that I needed to deal with things yesterday. So that's one of the ways, connect with people that you care about and that you know care about you. Self-care, another big thing that you need to be doing for yourself if you're not feeling great. It could be eating better. I know I have to hydrate more. I'm not hydrated enough, and I'm trying to focus on that. And then I try to go to the gym. Sometimes it's really hard to drag myself there, but once I do it, I feel great, and then I sleep better. But when I'm not sleeping well and I'm having bad dreams, sometimes I'm having bad dreams during this time of year, and I'm not always eating well, and there's all this sugar at work, and then I'm not, it's this vicious cycle. And I think for a lot of people, it's no different. So I do try to stay hydrated. I try to make sure I'm eating well. I try to make sure I'm on a schedule and going to bed at a decent time and not falling asleep in the recliner like I like to do. More of a comfort thing. So setting boundaries for yourself and saying, you know what, I can't do all the things. I can't go to every party, and I can't be with every person, and I can't do all the things that I'm expected to do. It is totally okay for you to say no, for you to say, you know what, I can't really do that right now. Maybe another time. You know what, you're going to piss off some people. Oh well. Oh well. You're much better off not doing something that is going against your will and trying to people please. Coming from a recovering people pleaser, I'm still recovering. I'm a lot better than I used to be, but boy, I can't believe some of the crap I used to do. I used to go and go and go and go. And I wondered why I was stressed out and tired, especially being a teacher. I mean, this is a really hard part of the year. Another shout out to my teacher friends. I'm thinking of you every day in the classroom. Um, tough job no matter what. And then when the holidays hit, it's really hard. Volunteering can be a really good thing to do to help yourself and others. I recently, because I've been putting this off for years, I put an application in to be a foster parent for a dog. And I'm really excited, and I hope we find a good match soon. And I definitely feel like that has upped my my gratitude to know that I do have a place to live and enough food to eat, and that I could also provide shelter for a dog that could go to somebody else's house one day and make them really happy. So I feel really fortunate because I have one of the best dogs in the world. If you've ever met her, you know, Sage. She's the best. She really is. So that's one of the things I'm doing for myself. On top of the self-care and doing the boundaries, I'm volunteering. That is one of the ways I'm volunteering. And saying no. I say no to a lot, and it doesn't make me feel bad anymore. And lastly, if you feel that you're struggling and it's beyond just feeling a little sad here and there and just not being in the holiday spirit, if this is going on, you need to talk to somebody. Maybe it's a close friend, maybe it's a relative, maybe it's a therapist. And I love therapy. Hello, everybody get therapy. I did it for 2.5 years, and one of the best things I ever did for my own mental health. I do feel that it's a little easier for women to ask for help in that sense than it is for men, because I feel like there's still somewhat of a stigma. I think it's better than it's ever been. But some people, it's really, really hard for them to say, hey, I'm not feeling great. I'm not feeling like myself. And I need help. So I just want to put it out there to say that if you're not feeling happy, if you're not feeling joyful in this joyful season, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you, okay? Because there's a lot of grief and a lot of heaviness that can come with this time of year, and you're not alone. You have a lot of people that are feeling like that. And I also feel like if we know we're not alone, it's easier to face things sometimes. So that's my little PSA that I've been working on for 3 weeks. I just wanted to talk about that and to throw that out there, that this can be a really hard time of year. And I hope that you find the things that bring you peace and the things that bring you comfort. Maybe not joy, maybe not. Maybe just a little bit of quiet. So if you're there, I'm there with you. We're in that hole together. And I have a lot of friends that are also in that hole with us. So knowing you're not alone is one of the biggest things. So you're not alone. I'm with you. Okay? Peace out.